this game that are like primarily used. There's 1.0, which has its own set of glitches. There's modding patch, which is formerly current patch, which has its own set of glitches.
Hey, I had your audio muted. Do you want to start?
Oh
over?
no. Alright, let's start over again.
It's okay, we're good now.
So, hello again, everyone. I'm SWC19, and this is Hat in Time. So, I'm playing on what's called modding patch. This is kind of both legacy and current patch together. So there's three main versions of the game. There's 1.0, which has its own collection of glitches. There's modding patch, which is this one, which has its own set of glitches, some carried over from 1.0, some patched. And then there's also current patch, which patches a lot of the things that are in this version, which we don't play on because it's a lot slower. So I guess let's just get started, and I'll talk about stuff as I go. So I'm going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so starting off, there's a little bit of a like interactive cutscene, if you will. So we're gonna start off, we're gonna flash gears for breakfast, and just escape. So, this is Hat Kid. She has a spaceship. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of stuff in it. Gonna do some dive boosts. That's gonna be most of the movement, or at least the beginning part. Dive boosting is when you hit A kind of close to when you're on the ground, kind of similar to something like Super Mario 64. So we're going to start Act 1, just welcome to Mafia Town. Do some movement. Going to get a yarn here. The developers of this game have a setting to turn off auto-skippable cutscenes. There's typically a cutscene when you pick up a yarn. So we don't have any of that. Killed that Mafia guy, and then crafted a hat during the cutscene. When you craft a hat during a cutscene, the cutscene still plays, but you also craft the hat at the same time. So we made the sprint hat, which is 2 yarn, and with that we can sprint. That opens up a lot more movement, makes everything a lot faster, and opens up a couple more glitches that we get to use. So we'll see some of those in the next act here, by opening up the rest of this. So right at the end of that, you saw me collecting those collectibles. Those are called pawns, and they're the currency. I got 5 just to open up this next act here. She came from outer space. We're going to do a little bit of movement here with sprint hat. Oh, come on. Let's get a big jump. There we go. So when you dive in midair, you gain a little bit of extra height, so you're going to see me going for that a lot. Gonna get damaged by this bird and jump into the ticket. Do that again. When you collect a ticket when you're in iframes, you duplicate the ticket. That's really, really easy. And you just get 2 of the same ticket. We'll be doing that again in another section. Get some more yarn here. Fall into this mud pit. This scares the Mafia guy away. Gonna be used for the end part of this section. Get this other yarn up here. Trying not to wall run just because that's kind of slow. Again, crafting a hat while in a cutscene. So I kind of have a different controller layout just because my controller wasn't working that well. So typically you basically insta-go through all text. But because this controller is a little bit different, text isn't going to be as fast. But it's not too big of a deal. So sometimes when I'm jumping off these ledges when I'm in the sprint hat, I kind of do like a double jump, like there. Typically you're not supposed to do that, but if you input the second jump fast enough, you get what's called a double sprint jump, and it gives you more height and just distance. So we're going to try and get as close to the timepiece as possible to end the act, as soon as the cutscene's over. Moving into the next one here is going to be Barrel Battle. And this is our first kind of boss fight. Sorta. So we're just gonna make our way over to the main section of this. So we need to KO these couple Mafia guys. With the Brewer hat, we gain access to like a bomb. So I'm just gonna throw that, hit them a couple times, then throw the Brewer again. It does 2 hits. It's there. So for this part, we're gonna collect these pawns just to have them. We need 100 at the end of a couple levels from now. And for the rest of it, I'm just gonna stand right around here. And we're completely safe. In this time, I'm going to pull up the route so I don't get lost, just in case. So we get to just hang out for a little bit.
Heads up, little punk.
To run in place, get some jogging in. Alright, when that last one disappears here, I'm gonna fight the last Mafia guy. Again, starting with a Brewer. One more. And that's Barrel Battle. So from here, there's a cutscene, but we can just return to hub. There's going to be a couple instances where there are cutscenes after we collect the timepiece, but we don't really need to care about them. Alright, so now we're going to do down with the Mafia. Here's our first actual boss right at the end here. We're gonna save Mustache Girl again. She's kind of who we've been helping out and was who was kind of kidnapped at the end of, or in the beginning of Barrel Battle. We'll see her again way later on. So first thing we're gonna do is jump on a chair, jump on a lamp, grab this pot of stew, and use this to weigh down a button. To grab a key. Open this door here. I'm going to grab a yarn on the side here. And I'm going to hopefully be able to jump all the way over to the end. Perfect. And right at the end of this hallway is a boss, but we're going to try and skip the cutscene that we see the boss in. I'm going to just try this once. If I miss, it kind of just puts me in the spot anyways. So jump on these. And dive all the way to the end, so we go right into that cutscene. That skips another small cutscene and another mini fight right before the boss. So this boss is the Mafia boss. We just gotta hit him a couple times. Generally, remember, there's a minimum of 2 sandbag attacks. There can be up to 4. We only want 2, of course. But it looks like we're going to get a couple more than that this time. That's okay. In this supercharge move, we really can't do much, so we're just going to bounce on his head until he's done, and then hit him. I'm going to hang out on the left side of the stage now, just for something that's going to happen right at the end of the fight. It's going to do this cleaver attack. We're going to hit him. It's going to show that he's keeping Mustache Girl hostage. Again, we're going to hang out on the left side. It's really important. Going to do another cleaver attack. We're going to hit him, go all the way to the right side of the stage, and charge a Brewer Bomb. And for some reason, when the Mafia boss jumps back over to us, we're going to bump into him, knock him out of bounds, and end the boss fight early. That's essentially a quick kill, and is really convenient because the latter part of that boss is just really annoying. So that's down with the Mafia. And there's another additional cutscene after this that we can just skip out of. Thanks Steam. Doing great. I put Steam overlay off, but we're still getting Steam alerts, but that's okay. Might have to take care of that if that becomes an issue. So next we're going to do Golden Vault. The objective of this is to get 4 golden tickets to unlock the Golden Vault, which was right next to where I just jumped from. We're only going to get 3 because counting to 4 is really difficult. I also need to make sure I have enough pawns. I need 100 total, which I'm definitely okay on here. That's 2. So what comes after 2? 4? I think so. Well, that's what this game is going to think. So collect this yarn that's right in the way. And then again, we're going to get damage boosted right into the ticket, and 1, 2, 4. We got all 4 tickets. Again, using that same damage boost as we did in outer space. And that's the vault. If I had missed that damage boost there, I probably would have just reset because I don't actually know where the 4th ticket is, so... yeah. But we're good, so... So up next we're going to do our first Rift level. So I'm going to go into Barrel Battle here. Did actually do that out of order, but it's okay, because it doesn't really matter. It should be open, right? Nope, it's not open. Alright. It is important to do it in order. I meant to go into the other rift that's in this level. The other one that I went to go to will unlock after, I think, 2 more timepieces. Oops. So we're going to go back into Golden Vault, and then go to the rift. So if you ever played Super Mario Sunshine, these rifts are very similar in like aesthetic to the platforming parts where you don't have flood. So we're going to right in here. I say this primarily because there's a lot of platforms with like pegs on them, and that just kind of reminds me of it. So we're going to jump up here. I'm going to try and jump all the way to this end here. Perfect. So yeah, these like platforms with pegs are just really reminiscent of Super Mario Sunshine. And that's the rift. So we're going to get an item here. At the end of each rift, you get either an item, a soundtrack, or a color of clothing. So that one's a brewer skin, which is Vivian from Thousand Year Door, which is great. Next we're going to unlock this one here, Heating Up Mafia Town. So the objective of this is to turn off all of the faucets around Mafia Town. And we're going to do that in some pretty neat ways here. So first we're going to mash through this text. Go jump off this side. And turn off the first one. They only take about 2 hits. If you stagger your hits enough, they'll be good. If you just mash, you'll need 3. So we're going to go all the way over to this one down here. Going to damage boost 3 times. And then we're going to... That one counted? Yeah. So that did delay the death animation. That's really not an issue. So now for these next two, I'm going to be traveling in a way where I don't touch a ground that I can respawn on. So I'm going from the chest to the faucet, to the lava, to the clothesline, to the tree, and then a couple more platforms at the end. So what that does is we never really like set a new position to respawn at, other than where we first started. So I'm going to hit this, get stuck underneath the faucet. The game puts us at our last position that we were at, which is all the way up here. And now we can go all the way down here to the last faucet, do the same trick again, and now we're back right where the cannon is. So that saves a lot of backtracking. Backtracking and climbing in general. And now we get the timepiece. Try to, at least. So now I'm going to go back to that rift that I was attempting to go to earlier. Just going to be back in Barrel Battle. We're going to come back to Mafia Town later anyways. Just to do a couple more easy timepieces. When you run off a ledge with sprint active, you can... Well, when you run off a ledge, you can delay your jump as long as you want. So doing that, we can just run off the ledge for a long time and then jump right at the end. So we're going to go through this rift. We dive here. Jump off of some cookies. Any good time rift has a good amount of cookies. And just jump right to the end and claim the timepiece. That's probably the easiest rift in the game, I would say. That being said, I still mess it up frequently, so. Alright, so now we're going to move on out of Mafia Town to the next section, which is Subcon Forest. But first, we got to do a couple errands. I'm going to talk to Cooking Cat here. And then we're going to be taught about relics, which are used to unlock other time rifts. And we're also going to hit Roomby, as we get a yarn. Don't abuse robots, but just once. Especially Roombas that you can ride. So moving into Subcon. Another difference between 1.0 and modding patch is that you can hold A on the act selection screen, and it speeds up the animation a lot. That saves about a minute total, which makes up for the fact that you can't do what's called bag skip. So on 1.0, you can completely skip this whole really, really long animation where we're just stuck here and can't do anything. But the speed up animation only makes a difference of like a couple seconds with all things considered between this and finale skip that we can't do. So we're gonna meet up with Snatcher here. I'm gonna sign a contract, which these contracts unlock other acts in the chapter. We're also gonna give Snatcher our soul, because that's what salespeople do. And we're gonna dive into the next part. I'm gonna do a dive here into the cutscene just to get a bit further. Pick up this cherry, make it a cherry bomb. The objective of this timepiece is to collect these 4 paintings and throw them in the fire. This will make the fire spirits happy. We can be done. Gonna throw that painting a bit more just to get there a bit quicker. Alright, so that's the first one in. We can throw this painting against the tree to pick it up all the way up here. And do a jump throw there. Ended up missing it, it's okay. As long as I pick it up before it goes away. Damage boosting here is totally fine. I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna pick up this yarn and then dive all the way down here, because there's a long cutscene and then another snatcher cutscene, and we're basically right next to where the timepiece is gonna spawn. I'm gonna pick up this contract here, because we want to get to mail delivery service. And the timepiece should be right around where we are. Cool. You need to find the fire spirits to break this wall. Don't forget. I don't know why that text box got stuck there, but we found them, don't worry. Now we're gonna go into Subcon Well, which is one of the harder ones. This one's very difficult movement-wise, just because the hookshot mechanics are kind of odd sometimes. But we'll get to that later in the level, once we actually get the hookshot. So again, we have a couple more paintings to return. Trying to stay out of this purple junk as much as possible, just because it makes you super slow. And if you spend too much time in it, you get enveloped by these hands and just lose health. So I make a jump from this root to this tree, climb up the tree, get the yarn, dive over to the other yarn. I'm gonna go for a skip here, just try it once. Didn't get it. Basically, when you dive into like a tight, like angled space like that, you just gain a bunch of momentum, and you can get to the top of the well like that, but it saves about 3 seconds compared to this path normally. But if you miss it, you just lose all the time anyways. So in the actual well, we're gonna go straight first to pick up the hook shot. Dive boosting when necessary. Pick up the hook shot. We need to hit the button because the gate that we entered behind us ended up locking. Pick up the yarn here first. And I'm going to sprint jump off the button, but I need to hit the button first. What I'm going to do is sprint jump off the button, so we can end the cutscene off the ground, or on the ground, so like this. That saves the bit of time from not having to jump off of the platform. But because I missed it anyways, it doesn't really matter. So now we're going to flood the well. For some reason, we kind of just get a lot of momentum from this rope. Now we're just going to speed through the well here. Jump off this wall, hookshot spot here, and off to the end. So here I'm going to switch to keyboard mouse and hold forward and just mash the dive button. That'll get us a bit more distance towards the end after this cutscene. We're going to be playing with keyboard a little bit more in the next one. So we have the contract cutscene, or the contract menu up, but we can still control Hackett. This lets us go back to hub after we claim the timepiece. And I had to remember to let the number in the timepiece go up, because if you don't, you do not get the timepiece, and it doesn't count. So it's really important to not go back to hub too early. Alright, moving into mail delivery service. We are going to be using keyboard and mouse for the entire time, because it is basically a third-person shooter where we're going to deliver mail. The most wholesome shooter. Let's see if I can remember the route. Also, using mouse is just a lot faster than controller aiming. I'm gonna go for a double here. Ended up not getting it. It's okay. We have backups. I'm gonna jump into the snatcher trap while trying to get that one. Not sure if I got it. Did get it. Heard that little fanfare. Gonna sign that contract. Alright. Now we're gonna go that one. That one's always really finicky to get. And there's one more right at the end here. I definitely missed the timepiece there. If I was to land on the timepiece, I can do a back to hub strat similar to what I did in Subcon Well, but that's okay. So up next, we're going to do Toilet of Doom, where if you know a little bit about this game speedrun-wise, is very, very simple. In that there's a quick kill, but it's like more of a quick kill. It's like an ultra fast kill, but we'll get there. So we're just going to dive boost all the way to the end here. A lot of shaky cam. Alright, here's the toilet. We're going to wait for them to do an attack. Once he starts moving, we're going to change the graphics settings back to performance, and that's the fight. That's the whole boss fight. The boss just disappears when you change your graphics settings. So, I don't know if the timepiece actually counts if you don't go back to hub. So we're going to be frozen here for a little bit. I'm still not entirely sure why you freeze and why, and if going back to hub actually counts the timepiece as collected, but game's not frozen. Yeah, there we go. Am I supposed to press start? I don't even know. That's a weird timepiece. I still don't know why it works, but it wasn't frozen. No worries. So next we're going to do Queen Vanessa's Manor, where we can't actually, can't select that yet because we didn't pick it. We picked mail delivery instead, but we can still get there. This is another, if you know about the game, speedrun-wise, this is a very easy level as well. Because, in fact, there is a developer hidden and intended shortcut that lets you skip the entire section of the manor. So we're going to avoid the Snatcher Trap, because we don't need to pick up any more contracts from them. And then just do a bunch of platforming through here. Oh. These bells have really, really high hitboxes. I don't know how I didn't make it on there. There we go. Yeah, the hitboxes on top of the bells are just very high up, so we can abuse that to just dive over these. Some of these don't even have to do any abuse to get over. You can just jump over. So there's the manor. You can kind of see it. My graphics are on low now. So, actually an important note, I switched from standard to performance, which is kind of important to be on performance because that affects cycles in the finale. They basically, depending on what graphics setting you have, you get a different set of cycles. And being on performance or high performance just gives you a good cycle towards the end. So that's pretty interesting. So I'm going to play on performance for the rest of this. So what we're going to do is crawl through here. Again, developer intended shortcut. I'm going to jump on the door frame to jump over a cutscene trigger and unlock the timepiece. So that whole bit skips a lot of the manor, which is close to an auto-scroller. It's very, very slow. but we don't have to do it. So, easy. So now we got 2 more rifts here in Subcon and then the boss fight. First one's going to be the Pipe Rift, which is just going right back to Manor here. Doesn't really matter the order you go, because you're still going to do the same 2, but it's just what we do. Caught behind a sign. And enter the rift. So this rift is kind of cycle dependent, just a matter of getting to those gears before they make it down again. See if I can get on top of it. Perfect. Get to this hook shot, right in time for this one. And then just hook shot through the rest of the stage. Sometimes this regular movement is faster than a hook shot, so we kind of just don't do them sometimes. Like here, we just do a double sprint jump. And if I did everything right, we can just go straight into the timepiece. If you do it fast enough, the timepiece is just right in the middle of those 2, and you just swing right into it. And you get a great Mafia Town remix that we're going to listen to for a little while, potentially. Next rift is going to be Village. We're going to go back to Act 1. And just dive through all of this part back here. Bonking isn't too costly, but it's still annoying. Alright. This jump is fairly tricky for like no good reason. It's really easy to not gain enough height on that double jump there, but second try is fine. So these bells, as we saw before, they activate the invisible platforms and stuff. We'll also gain that ability later with the Dweller hat. That does the exact same thing as the bells do, except whenever you want. Alright, so right at the end here, this jump is going to be really annoying. This is also one that looks harder than it is. Almost got it. Basically, you need to time your double jump really well. Right at the edge of the bell. There we go. Second try again, perfectly fine. So that skips a whole nother platforming section with the bells. Got the best hat in the game, the monster hat, over sprint. Alright, so the boss of Subcon is Snatcher, and during this boss fight, the compression might take a hit. We'll see. I'm not watching the stream, so I don't know if it's going to be good or not, but hopefully it'll be okay.
I believe. I believe in the power of bitrate.
This is the first instance where bitrate might tank.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh,
So,
there it goes.
so I'm playing on 720p resolution because not getting it here, but sometimes it makes Snatcher's hitbox large enough that we can actually hit him from the center here. Really not getting any hits here, but yeah. Come on. I gotta not die, actually. Yeah, so unfortunately we didn't get any. We got like one hit. Hitting him more advances the cycles, and I would end up being here anyways when he says, "You're kinda rude, aren't you?" So hopefully I can hit again right at the end when he drops all these. But this does avoid a lot of like additional particles and junk, so it's alright. Come on. Looking like it's gonna hit. That's unfortunate. So I kinda just gotta play this safe because I'm still at 1 HP. Come on, Snatcher. Oh, I'm at 4 HP. You do get a boost, I guess. Come on. Alright, well. Alright, I was in the ceiling there. Because reasons. Alright, and that's the fight. That was a really long fight. I don't know why I got launched into the ceiling, but that's okay. Anyways, that's a Snatcher fight. Normally it goes a bit differently. You just hit him in the center a lot, and all the cycles get skipped and stuff, and it's just nice, but that's okay. It still doesn't save that much time, maybe like 30 seconds total. So we're about to sign a contract to just make us leave, but we don't want to leave. We want to stay and have fun and be nice. We want the entire forest. This is exactly how contracts work, right? You just cross out what you don't want to do and write in what you want. Well, I guess it does for Snatcher. And we got our soul back, so we only lost it for about, what, 10 minutes? 15 minutes? Not bad. Mashing through text is so weird because my controller, I'm playing on a GameCube controller, but it thinks I'm on an Xbox controller. And to mash on Xbox, you press 3 buttons, so I'm like mashing 3 buttons at once. When on GameCube, you just mash B, and it skips the text for you. So like I said earlier, we got a relic. There we go. How do you make a burger? And that relic is going to open up a rift in Mafia Town, which we're going to return to later. And now we can go to my favorite section, Battle of the Birds. And we're going to start with probably one of my favorite levels, Dead Bird Studio. I just love the movement in this. It looks really cool. So hopefully I won't mess up too much. First, we're going to start by just jumping up here, opening the grate. Gonna get billed for 7,000 pawns. I have no idea how I'm ever gonna get that much. Well, hope we don't rack up any more charges. Alright. There's the conductor. So that bird, that owl, if it catches you, you get sent back to like the nearest place, or where you would respawn if you ended up dying. So that's why I hit the terrain right before that pipe there. Same with these penguins. More pawns charged. Darn. Destruction of property. TP TKO. Gonna dive here just to reset where I spawn. Trying to get caught by these penguins. Jump on this junction box. Skip that whole part. Oh, that was... I fell off. That was a little messy. Anyways, jump past these penguins, jump on this junction box, jump over to the billboard, and pretty much end the stage. That's pretty much the entire stage. So now we're gonna go talk to DJ Grooves. Gonna get a passport. Hitting your umbrella there makes you move a little bit further to where you need to run. That's our beautiful passport picture. Use the mouse there just because it's faster to get to the done button. And then here's the conductor. Still have that bill, but guess we'll deal with that another time. Alright. Into another one of my favorite stages. Murder on the Owl Express. This one's just fun in general, as well as movement. So what we're going to do is we're going to enter the train. A mash keyboard mouse just to avoid all that text prompting in the on-screen keyboard, just because it's slow. I love the conversation. Oh, come on. I'm most ashamed of my queue. Isn't everyone, though? Alright, get the key. Get this yarn. Unlock the door. Alright. Talk to the mysterious voice on the train. And this backtrack to where we just came from right at the beginning. Try not to talk to any of these owls. And we found a murder scene. Uh-oh. Wonder who did it. Well, I mean, we're standing in a puddle of blood, so maybe us. I don't know. So what we're supposed to do here is gather evidence on all of the potential suspects. But we don't want to do that. That's a lot of effort. It's a lot of sleuthing and all that stuff. So there's a little sequence break. I'm not supposed to get up here yet. I'm supposed to do a lot of getting keys and going through doors and stuff. So I'm on a really, really strict timer here for this next room, for like the first 3 seconds. I didn't get it. So there's supposed to be a cutscene that played there, and it didn't. And the game kind of just reset where I was. It's possible to get in that door right before you get reset, but it's alright. This whole part's going by really fast. The time just jumped ahead 40 minutes in space. That's again because we sequence braked. Sequence broke? Sequence broke. Yeah, like I said, this whole part goes by really, really quickly, so try and stay focused. Oh. Alright, enter this and leave, and we're done. And it's midnight, so time for us to come up with a solution of who murdered the owl. We didn't actually gather any evidence, so by default we need to blame the conductor. Or conductor. The potential suspects are your aunt, the conductor, the owls, the victim, and yourself. You can blame yourself for the murder. For some reason. But the owl was never actually dead, so everything's okay. It was all a play. Or all a movie. Alright. Next level is another one of my favorites and has the best music in the game, bar none. Picture perfect. This is easily the biggest bop. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our picture taken, talk to some penguins, do some other stuff, listen to some good music. There we go. That's actually a really hard jump as well. Gonna hop on an endorsement from DJ Grooves because that's faster than not hopping on it. That gets us a lot of fans. I wish getting fans was this easy. We're also in space, so moon gravity is a thing. Well, we're also on a movie set in space. And our last task is to save a puppy. Well, maybe. We're just gonna hit the puppy off the fountain. Consider yourself saved. And we've done it. We've hit max diva. Again, really good stage. Alright, so now we're going to take a little break from the whole Battle of the Birds to go do another rift. That's over here. This is the lab? Or no, this is the gallery, sorry. Lab is later. This is the gallery. And there's an interesting trick that I can hopefully do. Last time I tried this, it didn't work at all, so hopefully it should be okay. There we go. So if we jump high enough, we get a checkpoint, and then we can just death warp to the checkpoint. I was having trouble getting the checkpoint to actually trigger last time. But we're good. And the rest of it's fairly simple. Could bounce off those spiders, but nah. Alright. And now back to the regularly scheduled chapter. Which is just one more rift and another regular level. Finishing the rift puts us back where the telescope is anyways, so it's not like we had to backtrack that much. That's kind of why it's just like in the middle of the route. So we're going to go back to the Owl Express. And we're going to do probably the hardest rift, just because there's a couple tricks that are really precise. So hopefully I can get it. Again, we're going to skip all this stuff, mash that, skip the on-screen keyboard and all. This is the easiest rift to find, it's just right here. You can't find that. Well, you gotta look harder. Alright, so this whole part's gonna go by fairly quickly again. I need to do a double sprint jump here. Did get it. What that does is skips 2 buttons. And I got it again. Now we're good. So that skipped 2 buttons to do. And is a hard trick. So I'm going to wait a little while for these buttons to go. These buttons just cause stuff to happen through the stage. The ones I skipped ended up giving us a platform between where I had jumped. And there's just a long cutscene, so making the jump is just a lot faster. And that's that rift. And that's that rift. That's the second to last rift in that structure. There's going to be one more rift that we do that's not as similar, but it's still technically a rift. So the last level is Train Rush. If you're familiar with any sort of Hat in Time speedrunning, Train Rush is probably the most prominent level. I know the Gears for Breakfast team, they had like a whole speedrunning thing themselves, and it was... Train Rush was the finale, I think. It's just a really, really good level to be going fast in. It's also a difficult level to do well, just because there's so much happening. So I'm not even doing it as fast as I could be, it's just hard. Music is also really good. The trigger for this next part's all the way up top, so I can just jump off of the hook shot. Do some cool jumps here. Through the Ring of Fire. And on to the next part. Music also gets faster as you start losing time, but hopefully we won't hear it as fast as it goes. Sprint jumps take a really long time for you to hit the ground, so try not to do those here. It definitely... Oh, I definitely messed up that movement. It's okay. Ended up jumping on the enemy. That's that. Sprint jump off this button to get really close to the timepiece, right in the conductor's face. And that's Train Rush, so 3 more timepieces to get. First, we're going to open up this section, Alpine Skyline. We're not actually going to go there, but we need to get a rift in here. So we just do that now because we're already on the way. So we're going to go into Down with the Mafia to get to this last rift, which is called Mafia of Cooks. And it's different than all the other rifts that we've done so far. I'll explain that when I get to it. See if I can snipe it. Oh, didn't let me jump. Alright, so this rift is different because we need rift tokens to move in between levels of the rift. So those rift tokens are these like yellow pawns that have crowns in them. So we're just going to get the fastest, however many is necessary for each one. They go between 3 and 5. So because I picked up this ladybug hat earlier, it kind of just like gets set as the default after you switch, so no more monster hat, unfortunately. I missed a token there. These meats have big hitboxes for some reason. It's a little annoying. That's all those. 5 necessary. One more section. Gonna try and get both of these at once. Almost. Getting hit by cans is really dangerous because it just halts all your momentum and can make you fall into the pit really easily. Alright, and here's the timepiece. Also, compression's gonna die in a second. Oh.
I'm ready.
Alright, there it goes.
That's...
Just one flash of compression there. Next part's gonna be the finale. That's always fun.
I've been looking forward.
Are you ready for finale? Yeah, I was
so ready.
I was rewatching my PB and my face just disappeared because of the compression. All the artifacting was just ugly. So hopefully it won't be that bad, but who knows. So our last act is Cheating the Race, which is probably the hardest timepiece to get. We are missing a key item in that we're supposed to have a time stop hat, which costs like 32 yarn or something like outrageous. But we can do it without it. And we're going to try our best to get it first try, we'll see. So I'm just going to be quiet for just a second. This looks good. Maybe not. Barely got it. Alright. That was extremely close. You get a very little bit of grace period as like the Mafia member reaches the timepiece. So you have maybe like a second once he's already there to grab it, and that was close. But got it first try, really happy about that. And the last timepiece we get is going to be another rift, which is going to use the Dweller Mask that we crafted during the cutscene. And that lets us move through these seemingly solid objects and open up new platforms. But we're only going to use it, I think, 3 times in the run. So these really cool crows are bullies. And they like to push you around, which is really annoying when we're trying to platform, so hopefully not going to get hit by any of them. It's mainly this one. There we go. That one's usually the biggest problem giver. This one's annoying as well, but the rest are fine. The rest are friendly. Not really, but they're just not hard to not worry about. Alright, so that's 25 timepieces, and that's that. So now we're going to move into the finale. I'm also probably on PB pace, but we'll find out at the end of the run.
Here we go.
So now we're gonna play as Mustache Girl. Mustache Girl really isn't that nice. So we're gonna sabotage Hat Kid's stash of timepieces. And steal them all for ourselves. For some reason this makes the Earth like implode or something. I don't really know why that happens, but whatever. Alright. So let's unlock Time's End, I think it's called. Yeah, Time's End. So we are supposed to have the Ice Hat. We don't have it yet, and we're not going to get it. We need it for this jump here, but we can also just hit the button like that. We also are supposed to need it for the finale here, but you only need it in one place, and we can just damage boost past it, so it's going to say we're missing a key item, which is the Ice Hat, but we don't need it. Alright, here's finale. We got another probably 10 minutes left in the run.
Beat it, kid.
He's just like
I was going to make a joke about one of the fire spirits because they say smoke, fire, but when you pass it fast enough it just says smoke, and I was going to say don't listen to the fire spirits, but the fire spirit didn't say it, so I couldn't make the joke. Sad. Anywho.
It would have been a really, really funny joke.
Anywho, like I said a while
Explanation
ago,
has really done it justice.
we're in performance mode, so these cycles are going to be fairly forgiving. Again, you're supposed to use Ice Hat there. 1 damage boost is fine. There's a lot of movement going on kind of fast here. More good cycles. More roll boosts. Ooh, almost missed that there. At this point, pawns don't matter, but we can collect them anyways. These fires are really annoying. Mainly that pair there. We criminals. What haven't they committed? I don't know. So just cruising through here. I'm gonna go for a double sprint jump here. If I don't get it, I'm gonna get damaged. Didn't get it. Gonna get damaged. That's okay. Gonna go for a fight skip here. Got it. It's actually a lot easier than I first had tried. You only need to just do like a regular double jump, as opposed to a double sprint jump, which I had been always going for. It's faster if you do it like that, but you don't have to. So that's pretty nice. That saves about 20 seconds-ish. Maybe less. But those owls are kind of jerks. Oh. Yep, we're gonna die. Alright. No big deal. The respawn points are really, really forgiving in Finale. For at least the second half. But yeah, we're basically at the end now. So we are at the end of Finale now. And we're gonna
You
fight.
could say the finale of finale.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
So we're gonna get slapped in the face by Mustache Girl because she's really mean, and we don't like that. So I'm gonna go for multi-hits here. I got 2 there, which is good. Only got 1. It's 5 hits to end this phase. Oh, it's only 4. Never mind. Unless I didn't count right. I don't know. So get ready for compression. Actually, no, not yet. It's the last phase, the last of the fight here. So what we're gonna do is hit Mustache Girl a lot. For this first phase, at least. So she's gonna teleport first. Gonna hit her. And it just brewer bombs. Whenever she's up in the air like that, we can just hit her with a brewer bomb. I missed it there, but that's okay. Six hits for that phase. Now she's gonna do the beam attack really far from us, and we can't hit her unless we throw a brewer bomb. So that ends the phase early when the Mafia is like, hey, you can't actually hit her. So now we have the Mafia Ball phase. Gonna throw a brewer bomb at her first, dive into the Mafia Ball, that'll hit her, and repeat 2 more times. Or 1 more time. So now it's the shield phase. We can't hit her, obviously. She's in a shield. Gonna wait for her to fall here, and then Snatcher's gonna sign a contract with the yak thing, and they're gonna throw cherries. So the cherries, you can get 1 to 4. Getting 1 is good, but it's fairly rare. I'm also gonna go for a double hit here, where I'm gonna throw a brewer bomb at her, and then try and homing attack. And if I do it correctly, it can get a double hit. So that's 2 cherries. Missed all the doubles. Ah, there's a double. Right in the end. Perfect. So this phase is gonna, or this move is gonna start the final phase of the fight, where we basically can't die, just because we're regaining health like mad. And there's a long, sad cutscene where everyone just like kills each other to help us out. But anywho, the run's almost over. We're just gonna homing attack Mustache Girl a lot. I believe 8 times. And then time's gonna end when we hit the final timepiece, or the final timepiece ball. Like I said, can't die, or it's extremely hard to die if you can. I've never done it. I haven't seen anyone do it. So we're just gonna try and get her with homing attacks. That's the safest way. That teleport attack is also really unfair. She can just hit you even if you're all the way above her. Like there. Brewer bombs like to not hit there either. Alright, well, 1 more? 1 more? That'll do it. Alright, so again, time ends at a timepiece hit. And that's the run. Hope everyone enjoyed. That might have been a PB question mark. I don't actually know.
I'm not sure if I timed it correctly.
Well, I
I
mean,
definitely got close.
RTA is going to be different. So after this cutscene, I'm going to turn on the speedrun timer and see where I am.
Well, my timer says 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 37 seconds.
That might be a 52 or 53. But again, I'll check real quick. 54:36. That was like a 10-second PB, I think.
Nice.
I don't
Good
even remember
stuff.
what my PB is. It's like a 54:45 or something. So that's that. We can watch the final cutscene play out. We got a little bit of time.
Sure.
Actually, so we can either save or kill the everyone. So what should I do?
Well, we saved the animals in Super Metroid, so let's save the everyone.
All right. So basically, we get an option to either save or kill Mustache Girl, pretty much. We can throw a timepiece down to help her out. The red hooded girl. Alright, let's do it. For some reason, we forgive her after we just fought her for a couple minutes.
I mean, everyone makes mistakes. It's okay.
And that's that. There's a bit more of the cutscene, but I won't bog y'all down. So again, I'm SWC19. I kind of play this game sometimes, not really, but I'll probably play it more because that was a good run. I can improve on that PB a lot, and we'll work on it. So if you like this game,
Thank you so much.
oh, one more thing. If you like this game, play
Go
it.
for it, go.
If you like this game, play it. 'Cause it's a really good game. It's really cute. Speedrunning this game is really fun. There's just a lot of cool movement and all that jazz. So that'll be it. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of the marathon.
Thank you for running with us. Up next, we have Kamaru doing Super Metroid GT Code. So